Alrighty, continue where we left off. I apologize. So I rewrote it. I got rid of subtract signs because if you don't do that, you start over anyway. It's going to be wrong. So now we've got add signs. Check. I need to get rid of the rainbows. Working. Rainbow, rainbow. And don't just draw them. Draw them and do them. So what's negative 3 times 2? Negative 6. What's, by the way, put the plus sign down. That's not going anywhere. What's negative 3 times negative x? Well, there's a 1 there, so that I can tell you it's 3. I can tell you it's x. What about negative versus positive? You got a negative and a negative. So think about that. Negative 3 times negative x. Wouldn't that be the smiley face? So that's positive. Symbol. 6x plus 6. If I think about the mistakes I've seen kids do well here. They write 1, which is wrong. They forget the second part. I'll see them put negative 3x here. They forget that these two negatives would make a smiley face, by default positive. I'll see them put just negative x because they forgot negative 3 in the first place. Alright, continuing. I'm going to mark the triangles. Whoops, I should have grabbed the plus sign with it. We'll pretend I did. There's another triangle. So I want the triangles on the left. So this one has to move over here, and this negative 6 has to go over here. And I'm going to color code these really quick. So these triangles I need on the left. The yellow I want on the right. So how are you going to do that? What's your plan? So could I say minus 6x minus 6x? Wouldn't that delete? Wouldn't that leave you negative 3x? I'm going to bring that symbol down. And then plus 6 plus 6. And that's a 0. And that's a good thing because I don't want it on that side. And then wouldn't that be 12? And when you divide by negative 3, and how do you know you divide by negative 3 and not by 12? What is the secret? That shouldn't be a secret. You're right. You divide by the number in front of the x because x needs to be isolated. X has to be 1. And if you want the short version again, find x, divide by that number. Simple enough. And then that should be x, actually 1x. You want to get picky. That would be 4. And how about negative 4? Because that's a half frog. Half a frog's a negative day, at least for the frog. And you divide it by negative, so you flip the sign. And I think I've got it all. So then here's 0, here's 4, here's negative 4. I'll mark negative 4. I'm going to close negative 4. Why am I closing negative 4? You're right, there's a line there. And I'm going that way. So there it is. Pretty simple. Pretty simple indeed. Let's go to the next one. So you need to write an equation for this one. She's going to run at least 10 miles this week. So far she's done 4.5 miles. How many more miles does she need to run to reach her goal? We should ask Coach Moit, but she's not here. So what if I said she needs to run 10 miles? Could she run 11? So at least means greater than 10. What about 10? What if she only ran 10 miles? Would she be in trouble? No. So at least. So she could have 10 miles. She could do 11, 12, 13, 13.1, 14, whatever. So she needs to run greater than or equal to 10 miles. How much has she ran already? So you've got, she's ran 4.5 miles plus, I don't know, something, is greater than or equal to 10. So this is what she's done. This is what she needs to do. This is her goal, 10 or more. Yep, we went from a word problem all the way back to numbers. So wouldn't that be a variable? And I should have grabbed a plus sign. Oh well, did it again. So minus 4.5 minus 4.5. If you noticed, I lined up the decimal that wasn't even posted. That's 0. M, symbol. And what's 10 minus 4? 6. What's 6 minus 50 cents? 550 miles. So some of y'all missed this on that review because it said you had to be more than 5 and 6 was the answer and y'all picked 5. So the miles she needs to run is greater than or equal to 5.5 miles. So she can run 5.5 miles or more. to reach her goal. Alrighty, let's look at question 10. It says, what are the possible number of notebooks costing $1.39 that can be purchased with $10? So, alright, so you go to the store, you need to buy some notebooks, you got $10. Can you spend more than $10? No. Can you spend $10? Yes. Can you spend less than $10? Yes. But you can't spend more. That's called a hot check or theft, one or the other. So what is this equation going to look like? So what about writing unit rate times quantity equals total? Unit rate is the cost of one. Quantity is how many you're going to purchase. Total obviously is the total. So my unit rate's $1.39. Do you know how many you're going to buy? Not yet. I'll put that as X. And I could write $1.39X, by the way, too. Equals, how much money do you have? $10. And I'm not going to bother to put 0.00 because that might drive me crazy and think you have $1,000 later. So would you agree that is 1.39x equals 10? Aren't you going to divide by $1.39? Now, for me, in my algebra class, it is not necessary for you to work all that division out because I need the algebra. I don't need the division. So you're going to pull that lovely calculator and you're going to type in, and you're going to clear that screen too, 10 divided by $1.39. And so I get 7.19. So x equals 7.19. Now, what about that equal sign? Can you have an equal? It says equals 10. Didn't we say we could have less than 10? So technicality, you don't really have an equal sign. You should have it in your equality. Can you be more than 10? No. Can you be less than 10? Yes. Can you be equal to 10? Yes. So I'm going to fix it. Perfect. So less than or equal to $10. And this is less than or equal to $10. Pretty smart, right? And this is less than or equal to 7.19 notebooks. By the way, how do you buy 0.19 of a notebook? You can't. So the correct answer is 7 notebooks. So without the symbol, we need to write that in English. So you can buy 7 or less notebooks. Because let's be honest, that's a strange way to write a grocery list. That might make sense. Alrighty, let's look at question 11. Alrighty, so I'm going to scan the question so you can see it. You got a car rental. You got 2 companies. One's charging a flat fee, and that means no extras. One's charging a charge plus an extra fee. So I've got company A, whatever, company B. For how many miles is the cost of B? Company B more the cost of company A. You could have abbreviated that. I was just being nice. So company B more than the cost of company A. And it does say for 1 day. And it doesn't say more than or equal to either. So go back. Find company B. And they always like to write B first and then they give you A data. Be mindful of that. Don't fall for those silly tricks. So wouldn't that be $30 a day plus 20 cents per mile? Now for me, I want Y equals MX plus B. Now, that may not make too much sense right now. It's going to make a lot of sense later though. I want quantity times unit rate first plus fee. And so I want to see 20 cents. And by the way, see where per is? Put you an X there. So I want to see 0.20x plus, we'll read that backwards, plus 30. Simple. Pretty smart, huh? And then company A, 45 period. Yep, and now you can solve it. Is the x your variable on your left? Certainly. It's kind of crazy, but it's there. And then this 30 needs to go. So there's your x, keeping up with it. And then minus 30. So 0.20x symbol 15, if I'm not mistaken. And don't you need to divide by 0.20? And is it true every time you divide you make something smaller? Is that always the case? Well, let's find out. And did you divide by negative really quick? No. Did you multiply by negative? Didn't even multiply. All right, double checking. So I don't have to flip any signs. So I've got x symbol, and then I'm going to do some math here. I'm taking 15, divide by 0.20. So my question again was, when you divide, you make it smaller always. We'll find out. 15 divide by 0.20. Well, I don't think you did. So answer is 75. And by the way, the answer to my riddle, when you divide whole numbers, you get smaller. When you divide decimal parts or fractions or pieces of, you make them bigger. And I'm off screen. How about that? So x is greater than 75. So bonus round, would 75 work? No. Is 75 more than 75? No. And it says, what is 75? What is this stuff? What was x? Go back. 20 cents per mile. So this is miles. Do you think they're going to charge you per mile or per half a mile? Or are they going to round up? Or they're going to be kind? Nobody's kind. The answer is 76 miles or more. That's a great trick question. And how many of you are going to pick 75 on the answer choice? Might want to be careful with that. That'd be a bad thing. Alrighty, working on the next one. So I'm going to scan that question across so you can see it. Hannah's savings account, they're going to put money in it. Then they're going to put so much money in per month. Then you got Faith doing the same thing. Then they want to know Hannah is less than Faith. So I'll just fix that right now. Hannah less than Faith. Got that part right? And then I'm going to go back and find Hannah. At least it's first this time. And remember, I want y equals mx plus b. And x is my per. So I want to see, there's my per, right? That's 15x. So that's 15x. And deposits means you give the money to the bank and they save it for you. Plus 210. And I'm going to continue my symbol. And what does Faith have? Where's my per? That's what I always look for. So that's 20x plus 175. And you got to realize, what is a balance? Well, they had money in the bank, which is a good thing. And so this is what they have in the bank. This is what they're going to do. This is what's in the bank. This is what they're going to do. And that's per month, it says, right? Per month. Per month. Yep, there's your equation. So I'm going to mark my triangles. I'm not going to mark all the circles. That'd be too much. So wouldn't this 20 need to join over here? So then minus 20x minus 20x 0. And 15 minus 20, wouldn't that be negative 5x? And that's minus 210 minus 210. That's a 0. That's a less than. And then 175 minus 210. Well, 210 minus 175, wouldn't that be 25 plus 10 more? So 35? Would that be positive 35 or negative 35? Keep the sign of the bigger. Negative 35. So divide by negative 5. And then you would get x 7. And when you flip the sign because of these negatives, so x is greater than 7. So be mindful. That's true. But 7's not right. It has to be more than 7. And 7 what? What is x? Go back. That's $15 per month. So I'm assuming x is months. So it has to be x is greater than 7 months. Well, that's still okay, but that's not the answer. So it has to be more than 7 months. Or 8 months or more. I like the second one better. At least you would pick 8. Good point. Let's do another one.